Hello, everyone, and welcome back to episode 8 of Rock Solid Summit Blue. We have a very exciting episode for you today. We have a lot to unpack. I'm Corinne Muth.
I'm Stephen Mason, and today's episode is going to be a little bit about that case where your mom says you got to eat your vegetables before you can eat the dessert. Because there are two women's teams on Tennessee right now who are kind of going in different directions. On one hand, we have the Lady Vol basketball, who has absolutely fallen off a cliff this last week, and then we have the Lady Vol softball team, who's just been dominant these last few weeks.
We've been very hot and cold here on Rocky Top with our women's teams, but it's good that we have a bunch of them to celebrate and talk about. We have a lot to get into. Like Steven said, our Lady Vol basketball team has not been doing the hottest.
No,
hoping for a turnaround.
It's been a miserable last few weeks, and we were talking a little bit about last week how it seemed that they had turned things around with the matchup, last Wednesday against Missouri. And going to Sunday, cautiously optimistic. They were playing a very good number 5 Texas team, and they actually had a really good chance of winning that game.
I definitely thought we were gonna win that game.
It was the first time, to be fair, that they played a top 5 team through 4 quarters, so that's a step forward. And they had really 2 chances at the end to either tie the game or to win it. But that was like where the mistakes came through. The second to last possession that they had, ended on a shot clock violation, and then the final possession that they had with like 6 seconds on the clock, you had Talasia Cooper dribbling into 2 Texas defenders, and there was 2 open Tennessee shooters on the outside, and the game ended with a tie-up. So just a whole lot of missed opportunities in that one. But, going out of that game, you couldn't really feel that bad about the team. But then this last week is just, part of it's the schedule, but then part of it's just the team has not looked that great these last 2 games.
Yeah. We were kind of saying, like, in our last episode, this was kind of the week that, we were either going to see a turnaround or, some sort of improvement. The game against Texas last Sunday gave me hope.
It definitely. I was in the building for that one. It was a fun watch. It was the atmosphere was electric. I think it was over 13,000 fans in the Food City Center, so it was a really good turnout, and that place was rocking. It was a close game for the most part. Texas did get out early, but Tennessee was able to launch a comeback, and then towards the third quarter, Texas got away a little bit. But then Tennessee was able to bring it right back, and they had the opportunity to win that game, and they just couldn't do it.
The score to me has been so much better. The Texas score, Tennessee lost 63-65, but that is to me, even though we lost, that's a more promising score
absolutely.
Than the past games they've played.
Against you look at other results they've had against top 5 opponents. The UConn game, absolute blowout, and then of course we had the South Carolina game the Sunday before, and that was the worst loss in program history. And this season is kind of is on the track right now that we could be hitting a lot of new lows for this program historically.
Unfortunately.
We'll just get back to the Texas game, but we'll just catch you up on what else happened this week quickly to kind of put this in context, see how bad this has gotten. So on Tuesday, they played number 15 Ole Miss at Ole Miss, and they lost that one 94-81, and that score makes it look a whole lot closer than it actually was. They were losing by as much as 26 points in the third quarter, so it really wasn't very close. And then last night, an absolutely stunner. Like, we all knew that Ole Miss could be. They're ranked higher than Tennessee right now, number 15 in the country. But then you have the Aggies, who were sitting under 500 on the season. They were 3-9 in SEC play going into yesterday. And they beat Tennessee 82-74. And that one too, the Tennessee dropped behind 10-0 really early on in the game. They just couldn't make up the difference.
And out of this hard schedule that this Tennessee team has had to play, this past week and into the rest of the season, Texas A&M was, if I recall correctly, was kind of one of the games that we had to win. Yeah, that we had to win. That it was, in kind of a reset game. Obviously, you can't underplay the SEC just because it is such a competitive, conference. But I was a little surprised by this game.
It was a shocker. It was a shocker for sure. Like where this program has fallen off to, and you got to blame the schedule. Of course, the Tuesday game wasn't supposed to be played, and I think Ole Miss also got the short end of the stick in that one too, because they had a massive matchup against LSU last night, and they got out early too. They had a pretty good lead, Ole Miss, on the number 6 LSU Tigers, but then the last quarter LSU outscored them 24-8. It just seemed that Ole Miss just ran out of gas because they too were just coming off a game 2 days ago. So the SEC really put both these schools in a really tough situation. But again, you kind of feel bad for Ole Miss because they actually had a tough matchup. For Tennessee, I find that excuse a lot less. It carries a whole lot less water than for Ole Miss.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? It was something about Ole Miss. And we were kind of talking about it a little bit ago, but this week has just been hard, for this Lady Vol team in general, because they've had 4 games.
It will be 4 games. It'll be when we get to this Sunday. It'll be in between last Sunday and this Sunday. It'll be 4 games. So in 8 days, I guess it is. But that's averaging like a game every other day.
Right,
that's
and
not sustainable.
They had to they had to travel to Ole Miss. Yep. They had to
come back home, and they're traveling out to Oklahoma for Sunday. So it's a brutal schedule.
Yeah. Anyways, that, and obviously it's not an excuse to kind of,
especially last night, there's no excuse for that, I don't think. But there has been some bright spots, little flashes of light for these 2 games. Texas game, Talasia Cooper had a fantastic game. She scored 29 points in that game against Texas, and then 30 points at Ole Miss. Lauren Hurst had a huge coming out game against Ole Miss. She hit 3 threes early on and ended up with 16 points and 9 boards, led the team in that category. And last night, Janiyah Barker had a massive game, scoring 29 points. But the scoring is not spread around, and in Kim Cadwell's system, you need multiple players getting up to that double digits. Having one player just getting hot will not help you out that much.
It's not sustainable.
You need to spread the offense around between multiple players if you want to have success in this system.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so they go to Oklahoma this Sunday, and then it's Vanderbilt?
That's LSU.
Oh, LSU.
Next week, and then they finish up March 1st with... So they have 2 road games coming up. They have Oklahoma, at LSU, and then they finish up next Sunday at home against number 4 Vanderbilt. Very good Vanderbilt team.
Yes.
So, it is entirely possible to see this team finish... it'll be 0-6 if they lose these last 3, and I think that scenario is a lot more likely than winning all 3 of them. I would see them probably winning 1 or 2 games. 2 games if you're lucky. But so that's going to put you, say you lose 2 games, it's going to put you at 17-11 for the season, which is absolutely miserable.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this Lady Vol basketball team has lost the last 6 of their 8 games.
It's been a downward spiral.
It's been brutal for this team.
And I think it's time to take a little temperature check, because obviously it is Tennessee women's basketball, one of the most.
Right.
I thought after last week's game against Texas, Vic Schaefer, Texas's head coach, had some very interesting thoughts on the situation that he finds himself in at Texas, and what Kim Caldwell has gotten herself into coming to Rocky Top. These are 2 of the most prestigious women's basketball teams in the country, and he said it best. We quoting him here. We did not come here to be good, when he was talking about Kim Caldwell and him coming to their respective teams. Good gets you fired, and that's really the standard that has been set. The standard that's been set by AD Danny White. You had Kelly Harper coaching here for 5 years. She managed to get those teams to the NCAA tournament every single year, and she was fired.
Yeah.
And this year, I don't think it's out of the question. Like we were talking, Tennessee was in the top 21 when we last recorded a podcast last Friday.
They were 19
they're
last Friday.
Probably, they're for certainly not going to be in the top 25 this year. And I think if they lose out, them missing the postseason would not be out of the question. And that, we're talking about new lows for this program. That would be the first time in the program's history that they missed out on the NCAA tournament since it was incepted in 1982.
Yep. Yeah, so that's really bad math, but 40 something.
That's
years.
40. Yeah. No, it's crazy.
That's crazy. And I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of pressure on Kim Caldwell just because she's probably like, what do I do?
Yeah, I mean, I would say hot seat. I'm not sure if they're gonna fire her, but this is not why they hired her. They brought her here. She was the 7th highest paid coach in women's basketball when they brought her on Rocky Top, and they did not hire her to have these sort of results. I can guarantee you that. And she'd have one of the best recruiting classes last season, but coming into this year, then the question is, how many of these recruits will actually stick around after this year?
Right.
Like, they're all, you look at the Poldo twins, for example, they're capable of starting at a lot of good programs that will make NCAA tournament runs. They certainly aren't going to settle for just like mediocrity, which is what we're seeing out of this team right now.
Right.
And mediocrity is terrible for Tennessee. Good is not good enough. You got to be great.
Yeah, they both basketball programs here are top tier. Yeah. The men's played a good game on Wednesday, yeah. But yeah,
the women's,
you can't just be good.
Yeah. Well, historically speaking, too, I think men's can get away with just being good because this has never really been a men's basketball school. Right. Only since Rick Barnes. I mean, they've had a few bright flashes over their history, but only really since Rick Barnes came to Rocky Top have they had actually consistent success. For the women's, it's a whole nother. You're talking about what's equivalent to Alabama in football.
Yeah.
You are one of, if not historically, the best program of all time. So this kind of results are unacceptable. And I just questioned, last time we were talking about what adjustments can Kim Caldwell make going into the offseason. I mean, right now you just got to burn it down and rebuild because this system is not working.
No. I think they need a, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Pitch Perfect.
No, I have not.
They go to a retreat and one of the old girls, basically, it's like an army, what's it called? Sergeant. Yeah. And she's like, you girls are going to do it! And then they become awesome again. So maybe that's what they need to do.
They need something because this is, I mean, just also the longevity and the support behind because it's been over a decade now, really, since Pat Summitt has retired, that this program has not been great.
Yeah.
Last national championship was in 2008, I believe. We've been good, but actually being great, it's really since Pat Summitt. Then you talk about the support of the fan base too. You go to a women's basketball game, there's a lot of older fans who are probably brought on during the program's success under Pat Summitt.
Yeah.
You got to put something out there that's going to attract the next generation of fans. And you do see a few kids in the stands are bringing camps and things to the games last Sunday. But you got to put a product out there that's going to excite people to actually want to come and watch. Otherwise, you could lose one of the best fan bases in women's basketball.
Yeah, totally. And especially for the women, people will go to the men's game because it's the men's team and they're always pretty historically good. But then for me, I kind of worry about the women's program not falling off, but people not necessarily caring about the women or wanting to watch them because they haven't been doing that great. And just for women's sports in general, it's up on the rise, so you kind of want to have
gotta ride this wave, especially in basketball. And we kind of have I think the WNBA is dangerously close to just losing this wave that they've been on the last few years.
Yeah,
if they in fact do not play next season because of their whole that very well could be the end of the WNBA as we know it.
Yeah.
I think that's ridiculous what they're trying to do.
But me too.
You talk about this resurgence of popular women's basketball, and you think that Tennessee would be in the forefront of it, but it's struggling right now. And there's also a few weeks ago, the AD announced that season tickets will be jacked up the price for women's and men's basketball, and people aren't gonna pay more money to see a worse product.
Yeah. Do they come in pairs?
No, I think it's two separate things. But they said for both men's season tickets and women's season tickets, the price is going up for both of those.
Oh dang!
And so people aren't going to pay more money to watch a worse product, right?
Yeah, or people are only going to buy men's tickets and not buy the women's tickets.
Which it's going to lead to massive problems.
Yeah.
And does the AD feel does Danny is he under pressure to make moves this offseason?
Yeah.
Because once you start accepting this mediocrity, you could just throw the Lady Bowl branding out the door because
Yeah.
you're just pretty much becoming like the Dallas Cowboys of women's basketball. Like, we were good 20 years ago. We were America's team, but like
Yeah.
we're terrible now. So like no one actually cares.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Yeah, we were kind of talking about it, I don't know, a couple weeks ago or something like that, but I really still don't know if it's justified to fire Kim Caldwell or
I'm
do
not
something.
sold on that.
I'm not either. I just don't really know. Like, what do you do if you're Danny White?
It's a tough position because this is also one of the few fires that he had. I mean, a few hires that he has on staff that is like he owns 100%. Because a lot of like Rick Barnes was here before him.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's responsible for like Josh Heupel and like softball for example, Karen Weekly and her husband have been around. No, they've been around for like years. Like they came way before Danny White. So I think Josh Heupel and Kim Caldwell are like the two big ones that he owns. And if this one goes down in the smoke, then it's not a great look for him. And you also just comparing against other schools, like you have I forget her coach, the coach name for Arizona State, also a very young coach, but the success that she's got in that program in like 1 or 2 years. You see it can be done at a program like Arizona State, and like it's Ladyville basketball. Like, you should be able to do that here,
right? And I'm not really sure like if Kim Caldwell got when she was hired. Obviously she's gotten the program to the tournament.
Right.
Last year and
Sweet 16. I think actually lost to Texas in the Sweet 16.
Yeah, we have a problem with Texas.
And they're good.
They're very good in all sports, but we have a little track record of losing to Texas here. But what do you do if you're her? I feel for the girl because what do you do?
Yeah, you got to make I think you got to make moves on your staff, to be honest with you. Try to get in some more experience.
Yeah.
So I think we talked about it a lot last week, so we don't.
Yeah, we did.
But I think that's one of the big moves you got to make. And I think she's probably not going to get fired this year, but she's going to be on a very short leash.
Yeah.
Next year, you better get it right in a big way.
Yeah, for sure.
I think by the third year, like the excuses, like you're new, are out the window, and you've got to find success.
Yeah, especially here.
Oh yeah.
In this program.
But
and not making it to the tournament this year.
I think it's borderline unacceptable. Like I almost would see that as like if he decided to fire her just because of that, then like I wouldn't blame that too much. Because I find that to be completely unacceptable to miss the tournament. Yeah,
especially when we've clearly been in the tournament for the last 40 years.
Yeah, like every single only program in the country to do that too. Only program to make it to the tournament every single time. Mm-hmm. But like we'll zoom out a little bit and talk more where things set for the country right now. Mm-hmm. So last Saturday, February 14th, the Women's Basketball Committee released their top 16 teams. Obviously, all these teams host the first 2 games of the tournament. So we'll just start at 16 and go right up to number 1. 16 coming in, so these would be 4 seeds in the tournament. Oklahoma 16, Ole Miss 15, Michigan State 14, and Maryland 13. The 3 seeds, you have TCU at 12, Iowa at 11, Duke at 10, Ohio State at 9. This is getting into the 3 seeds. LSU at 8, Louisville at 7,
Michigan at 6.
So these are 2 seeds now, a bit behind. The last 2 seed would be number 5, Texas, and then the number 1 seeds overall at 4. We have Vanderbilt, 3, South Carolina, 2, UCLA, number 1, UConn. The only real debate that I saw during the release of this was in between Vanderbilt and Texas. Mm-hmm. Texas has beaten a lot more good teams than Vanderbilt. Like their resume, when you put them together, aren't even close. But of course, Vanderbilt beat Texas when they came to Nashville right before they came here. So I guess they just gave them the little nod to the head-to-head. Mm-hmm. If you look at the resumes, I would say if you just put resumes side by side, I would say Texas has the edge on them. But that was like the bit of controversy that came out of that rankings release.
Vanderbilt was undefeated for a good amount of the season.
They did not play anyone very good, and that's like the key.
Yeah, they didn't have a touch.
Look at quad schedule. 1 records. It's not even close. Texas has way more quad 1 wins. Yeah.
So that's.
But you see the SEC is very prevalent. I mean, you have South Carolina, Vanderbilt, Texas, LSU, Ole Miss, Oklahoma. 6.
Oh yeah, wow.
6 SEC schools in the top 16, and no Tennessee, obviously. And like we were talking about last week, like Tennessee was right on the outside of this list looking in.
Yeah.
And if they could have gotten at least, I mean, you don't think they'd at least gotten 2 wins this past week.
Right.
You know, they could put themselves in that conversation. But I think now it's quickly switched from that to, are they even going to make the tournament, which is just wild to think about.
Yeah, and this is just like the top 16 is just who hosts.
Yes.
Yeah.
But there's 64 total teams. Obviously, a lot of the rest of the bids are taken up. I think there's like 32 guaranteed bids to different smaller conferences. So like the room for like other at-large bids to get in, the window gets very, very small for Tennessee. So they're going to have to be as close to perfect as possible these last few weeks.
Yeah, and is that possible? We don't know, and unfortunately, only time will tell.
And the road only gets tougher for the team going forward. I mean, they end the season this weekend. I mean, they don't end it this weekend, but the last 3 games at Oklahoma this Sunday, at number 8 LSU next week, and then at Vanderbilt comes here for the last game of the year next Sunday.
That's a hard schedule.
It's brutal.
Now that I look at it, like on this, like on the rankings, like that's hard.
It could easily end, you know, like I said, 0-3.
Yeah.
0-6 overall for the last 6 games of the season, and missing out the postseason for the first time in program history.
Hopefully, they can get a leg up on Oklahoma.
Yeah.
You know,
I would say
Oklahoma's you know historically good. They have also not really missed out on the tournament the past couple of years.
LSU's going to be, I would say their best, even though it doesn't really matter for the rank, I would say their best bets for 2 wins would be Oklahoma and Vanderbilt. And that
for sure.
LSU games, at LSU obviously, that's going to be a tough environment, so I see that being their hardest game. But you never, like, this team is wildly confusing. Like, they can look like one of the best teams in the country at times, but then just go out there and throw out nothing burgers performances. Like, what are we like? It's very hard to predict.
It's quite emotionally roller coaster. We're going back and forth. I don't appreciate it.
Unfortunately, this last week it's been just a one-way slide. So
Well, our poor basketball team. Hopefully, they can
turn it around. We shall see. But I think we should move on to happier subjects.
Yes.
The Ladyville softball team are absolutely dominant.
Because we do have happier sports here on Rocky Top.
Absolutely.
Standout sports, 100%.
Softball. They were number 1 in all 4 major polls this past year. 10-0. I mean, and the teams they've beaten to get to 10-0. Like some of the results this last week, they were at the Clearwater Invitational
in Florida,
and like some of these results are just ridiculous. Like they kicked it off with Nebraska, number 11 Nebraska, who they played here in the region or the Super Regionals last year. They beat them 4-1. They beat James Madison 11-0. It's a run rule. They beat number 23 Florida Atlanta 8-0. They run ruled them in 6 innings. Then the most shocking one for me was number 6 UCLA. They run ruled them in 5 innings, 11-0. And then they wrapped up the weekend beating up number 7 Florida State 9-1. So like absolutely just ridiculously dominant games.
Yeah.
Pitching, I mean, obviously you have Caroline Pickens heading it up, but across the board their pitching has just been so good.
Is it okay? I don't really know. So correct me if I'm wrong. Is it Carlin?
I think it's Carlin. It is Carolyn.
It is? Okay.
Maybe it's Carolyn. We should figure that out.
Well, because I said, we were talking about, this is, sidebar. We were talking about it last week, and you said Carolyn, and then I saw one of her TikToks. And
it's Carlin.
Okay, that's what I thought. And I saw her name, and I was like, oh, no. I was like, Steven and I might have said her name wrong. And then, because I say Caroline, you say Caroline, and then I saw her TikTok, and I was like, oh, that says Carlin. And then I was like, shoot. So is it Carlin?
It's Carlin, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Tennessee Athletics website, for having pronunciations.
I was going to, go onto Google and do, the Google, Translate, and then hit the voice button.
Well, they have this on the website.
Okay. Because I wasn't sure. But, yeah.
It's Carlin.
Carlin, got it. Because I was like, I can't be dyslexic, right? That says Carlin.
It's Carlin.
Got it. We are sorry, Carlin. Coming from someone who has a hard name to pronounce, that is the worst. I sincerely apologize.
But it's not, I mean,
We
obviously
love
you have Carlin, like the headline senior fastest arm in
Right.
the country.
Yeah.
But you have other like Aaron Newer, the sophomore, who's also looked absolutely dominant.
Yes.
These last few, she started against number 11 Nebraska and number 6 UCLA, and she did a complete shutout against UCLA, obviously allowing only one hit. It's ridiculously good start. Like softball's one of those sports, like people often compare it to baseball. Their pitching is not comparable to baseball at all. I don't think, because these pitchers can go for a lot longer than baseball pitchers. They can also start multiple times per weekend. But Tennessee's pitching roster is just so deep that like they have so many options to play with. Like, you know, when someone's not having a good day, I think it was in the Florida State game early on, you know, bases were loaded. In the second inning, they just brought Carlin out from the bullpen, and she shut them down the rest of the way. So, like, they have so many options. The job that Karen Weekly has done, phenomenal.
Yeah. It's nice that, you know, specifically with the pitching roster, they have this, like, fluidity to be able to just, you know, you can rely on your sophomore, but, you know, you can also start your senior and you can have a good game with both of them. And Aaron Newer threw a no-hitter last week or so.
I think that was the first opening weekend, but yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like, hitting, too, like Sophia Knight, Gabby Leach, Ella Dodge. A lot of them picking up exactly where they left off last season.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, they have been so dominant. Like, the only criticism we could possibly have is, are they peaking too early? I don't even think that's a thing.
Right.
But I don't buy into that at all.
I don't either.
In this sport. But that's, like, the only thing you could possibly say, like, hold on a minute. But they look just really, that's really, like, the toughest part of their non-conference schedules out of the way now. So
yeah,
this weekend they have a pretty easy slate, knock on wood. You know, you can never take anything for granted, but
yeah.
And then next weekend they're coming back home for the first time of the season. So
they start tonight at 5:30. It's Friday, currently February 20th. And they have a no-hitter tonight against Missouri State, and they're playing the Green and Gold Classic and
at UAB in Birmingham.
UAB. Yep, they're playing in Birmingham, Alabama.
They got 2 games tonight, don't they?
Yep, double header. UAB at 8, and then Missouri State at 5:30. And then tomorrow, on Saturday, they'll play Mercer, and then on Sunday they will play Southern Illinois.
It's fairly easy,
Yeah.
easy slate ahead of them.
Yeah, maybe this is her way of just like, you know, getting in some good little
adjustments. But
games.
you can't accuse them of having an easy schedule, because you look at those first 2 weekends, they look like an absolute gauntlet, but they made them look like a walk in the park.
Yeah,
like I've not ever seen like anything like that. It's just so dominant.
Yeah, you know, 11-0, 9-1, 8-0, 11 and
Not
like
even
that
close.
is crazy. Like they just, no pun intended, like knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
Like
Steamrolled them.
yeah, literally.
Like, get out of the way.
Yeah,
You know,
like move, which, you know, good for them. As they should.
It's what we need at this time.
Yeah.
On Rocky Top.
Yeah.
Other departments aren't providing us with that sort of.
But, you know, Tennessee softball is
on the rise.
On the rise, doing amazing. I mean, they're, I kind of mentioned earlier, last year they made it to Oklahoma City.
Right.
Lost to Texas.
Texas, right.
Yep. So that's what I kind of meant when I said we have a.
Yeah, this is their year, though. Like
100%.
This got.
We're going all the way.
We're going all the way.
This is
the sport. This is the year.
This is the year.
Make way.
We're goated. Like we're gonna do it.
I need to look up, because I know Karen Weekly's been on staff, but it's also her husband too. Like they're a pretty dynamic duo, but like they've been here for a long time. What is with this school
and hiring husbands and wives?
It works for the most. In this case, it definitely is working out.
Yeah. I say that because what's it called? Oh my God. Eve Rockham-Watt and her husband are the
they're a pretty
volleyball
good
coaches.
duo.
They are.
Yeah. And then you also have Kim Coswell. Her husband doesn't coach with her, but he's on the men's coaching staff too. So
yeah. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But that's just kind of funny.
So she's been here since 2005.
Dang, really?
Yep.
Wow.
That's like my whole lifetime. Wow.
Really?
That's crazy. And yeah, she's been consistent, and now this could be, because I don't think they've won a national championship yet.
Wait, sorry, sidebar. Wasn't your birthday like last week?
No, it's coming up next month.
Oh, okay. Oh, next month. Okay. I thought it was like last week or something.
Yeah, I don't think they've ever won. This could be her year to win her first national championship.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna put that out into the universe right now.
Come on now.
We got this.
Come on now.
We got this. Baseball team and.
Oh, that would
Question
shock a
mark?
lot of people. I
That
think
would
in
be
baseball.
so awesome. Baseball. I haven't really been keeping up on baseball, but I know they've been doing well.
They've been. I mean, they haven't really played anyone that tough, and they won't until next weekend. I mean, they're playing Kent, the Golden Eagles, who should be decent. They're a lot better than Nichols, who they played last weekend. So we'll see. I have the game on Sunday, so that should be a fun watch. I think we'll just get into the weekly schedule now, because we'll kick it off with tomorrow. The women's tennis team, show them some love. They have their home opener, SEC opener, at 1:00 tomorrow at the Good Friend Tennis Center. And they've looked really impressive to kick things off. They're number 9 overall in the nation right now. I believe all their doubles pairings are ranked in the ITA ranking. They look really solid right now. And then, like you said, softball has their opener tomorrow at 8 p.m. Then moving into Sunday, softball has their matchup against Southern Illinois at 12:30. And Lady Ball basketball has their matchup at number 16 Oklahoma at 2 p.m. And that game is on ESPN. And then you have women's tennis. There's a little quiet spell next week. Then on Thursday, women's tennis is at Mississippi State. And Lady Ball basketball is at number 8 LSU at 6 p.m. And that game will also be on ESPN. And then on Friday, softball's home opener against App State at 3 p.m., followed by Penn State at 5:30 p.m. So that's I think it's called the Orange and White Invite or something like that.
The Tennessee Invitational.
Tennessee Invitational, close enough.
Sure.
So that's
we're orange and white.
phenomenal.
That works.
And then Saturday, you have softball versus Penn State at 3 p.m., followed by North Carolina Central at 5:30. And just what's been rolling on this week has been Lady Vol Swim and Dive have been competing in the SEC tournament. That's wrapping up, I think, tomorrow. So, if there's, we'll update you next podcast, next episode of any big takeaways from that. But that has been happening here right on campus. It's been so fun to see the University of Kentucky buses running around and things like that. It's been busy.
The swim and dive team. I saw something on Instagram, but
they were the top. I think at the end of yesterday, they were both teams, the men's and women's, were the top 3 overall in the standings.
Yeah. I think it was like the women's 200 free or something like that.
Records.
Oh, I think her last name is Spink or something.
Let me just quickly look this up.
Spink? I don't know. She got number 1. She won.
Okay.
She won by literally 0.4 of a second. It was pretty crazy.
They've the men's team also has a few. I thought they had a few wins on the dive.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, our swim and dive team's doing really well.
They're tearing it up. It's so cool that they're hosting it right here at the Alan Jones Center.
Aquatic Center.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. Oh my God, they're already in the SEC tournament.
Yeah, this. I think I'm trying to find up the overall.
Started yesterday.
They started on Monday, I think. Yeah. The men's 1 meter on Monday, and they're only going. They're going all the way to the end of tomorrow, really. They were up at 5:30 with a bunch of relays. But yeah, so we'll update you next week on any major takeaways from that. See if one, if not both of those teams, could come away with a W. That'd be huge. But yeah. Busy week on Rocky Top.
Yeah, for sure.
It's spring. Weather is
it's actually not going to be spring next week.
I think it's only I saw because I'm covering the baseball game on Sunday, and it is not baseball weather, folks. On Sunday, I think it's a high of 40. It's a high of 37.
On Monday, it's supposed to be 32.
Yeah, I see.
We're all gonna get sick.
Oh my goodness!
Everyone's gonna get sick. Actually, I've already been sick, so hopefully not me.
And we only get up to the 50s. Wow, that's miserable.
So I'm in a t-shirt right now.
It's warm right now.
It's warm. It's freaking 66 and sunny and beautiful.
This is absurd.
I was talking to my mom earlier, and she was like, "Oh my God, it's so cold and rainy and it's storming in California." And I was like, "It's beautiful here, Mom."
Finally.
Yeah, no. And I was like, "It's karma, Mom. You guys have finally had some not so good weather."
That's not. Spring needs to come.
Yeah, I'm ready for spring.
Permanent.
Permanent.
I think that's a wrap on today. We'll see. I mean, we had the good and the bad. See how the basketball team does these next few games, and obviously, hopefully, the softball team keeps it rolling.
Yep.
But that's it for today. I'm Stephen Mason.
I'm Corinne Muth. and we will see you next week.